Alright, girls, saddle up. The time to invade another YouTube channel is now. Okay, what is that? I told y'all to get a tank.
Oh, don't worry. This is a tank.
Yeah, no, that's a paper towel roll. And if we're gonna invade another YouTube channel, we need some functional artillery.
Actually, Chyna made some adjustments, and it is a working cannon.
How was that a working cannon?
Oh, hey, Mayor Aaron.
Oh, God, girls, no. This is not okay. Your big plan was to shoot poor little Diva Marie out of this thing?
Can you think of a more dangerous weapon than a clingy, chatty, annoying Diva Marie hurled upon our enemies?
Okay, good point.
And just to clarify, the YouTube channel we are going to invade is full of hunky men, right? That's why you chose to shoot me out of this?
Yes. Lots and lots of hunky men.
Chyna, you out of all the girls, you have the best morals. Okay, you have the only morals out of all the girls. I'm a little disappointed. What if poor little Diva Marie got hurt?
Or what if I get a boyfriend?
She has a point. We are doing this to help her.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready to invade any other YouTube channel, okay? But you know what? How about I just review Legends Series 14 Chyna until we can figure out a better plan?
Can I still fire the cannon?
No. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. And welcome to today's very exciting review of Legends Series 14 Chyna. This has been hitting the shelves of Targets all over. I haven't been able to find it on my own, but I had a good friend in the area pick it up for me, so here it is. I'm really excited to review it. This is the first female we've seen that has been released in the historic Mattel WWE Legends line, so I'm real excited to dive in. And side note, we are getting more women in the future, so this is a promising start. But yeah, with that being said, let's take a closer look at this figure. Alright, so let's take a closer look at this packaging. Now, like I mentioned, there's never been a female released in the Legends line so far. So this is the very first time in LumberJillville that we are looking at this packaging. And the first thing I'm going to say is, I love it. You know, I feel like this is the same quality box that we got when the Elites were in the white box, so Elite 88 and before. I feel like when they made the shift to that black themed box from Elite 89 on, the cardboard feels a little flimsy to me, so this feels like a sturdy, nice box. And on top of that, the overall appearance and the color theme of this is striking. It's so classy. I love it. It's got like a brownish orange rustic type theme. And some little details that I love is because this is Chyna from DX, you know, we've had some other figures released from that invasion angle here. And we've had a Triple H, a Billy Gunn, an X-Pac, and then a Road Dogg that came out in this series. And with these DX figures, we have little accents of the DX spray paint over the Elite logo in the corner. And then on the front, over that Legends logo. I also like that they use that retro WWF style logo. Even if they can't have the F, they still made it look pretty retro and it looks cool. So this is definitely a great figure to keep MOC, and I'm going to open this one for the review, obviously, but the treasurer did find one for me, and I'll be getting one MOC here soon. So yeah, this figure looks striking MOC. I think it's a must to have, but we are going to open it up and see how it looks up close. So we got Chyna on the front, a nice image, looking very intimidating. On the side, we have that image blown up, and then on the other side, we have that image once again, along with that throwback logo. And on the back, we have an awesome little bio of her, and then we have the rest of the series. So we are going to open it up here. I already cut the tape, and this, oh, I miss this. I miss these days, y'all. This is so easy to open. You know, like I said, Elite 88 And before that, the boxes, I thought they were higher quality than Elite 89 and on, and a lot easier to open the figure. So, woo, slides right out. That was simple. And yeah, here's the figure. So I'm going to pop it out, and let's take a look. WWE Legends Series 14 Chyna. This attire is from the April 27th, 1998 edition of Monday Night Raw. On this night, DX would attempt to invade WCW in Norfolk, Virginia. This was an iconic moment for the Monday Night Wars. Alright, so my overall first impressions of this figure are really good, but I have to say they were a lot better before I took it out of the packaging, because there's a few little minor things that I noticed right away that kind of bother me. The first thing is we do not have the double jointed elbows that we've seen pretty consistently from Elite 88 on with the female figures, so that's disappointing that they just reused her previous Elite arms and we didn't get an updated double jointed elbow there. And also, for some reason, my figure has really loose joints, especially this knee. I mean, it just kind of wobbles there, and then even the boot. So it really does not stand upright. It was kind of crazy trying to get her to stand on that turntable for the intro. But yeah, so the joints are really loose, especially in the knee, in this boot. And then the lack of the double jointed elbows is kind of a bummer here. But with that, the only accessory she comes with, besides that vest, which we'll take a closer look at here in a little bit, is we get semi-open gloved hands. So that's nice that she can hold on to a title or whatever else you want to put in her hands there for figure photography. And she comes packaged with the fists. So that's definitely how mine's going to be displayed. But yeah, we don't get a whole lot of accessories here, but taking a closer look at the figure, I think we get a lot of detail in the attire. Alright, so taking a closer look at this face scan. Now, I do believe this is the exact same face scan that they previously used on that Elite Chyna that came with Triple H and that DX 2-pack. But obviously, the big difference here is that hair sculpt. Now, the face might be a little different in the scan or the sculpt. I'll put a picture right here of that DX 2-pack. And I say that because even though it looks different, like I've mentioned before, that TrueFX face scan technology, the way it's printed on is so important as to getting a good likeness. And mine might be a little bit off here. It might have been printed a little bit off. I'll see when I get that one that's MOC. But either way, I think it's a good likeness. I think it really does resemble Chyna well. And yeah, I think I do prefer this over the babyface smiling scan that we saw in that WrestleMania Elite and that Showdown 2-pack Series 5 Basic. But yeah, I think the scan works fine, but I think what really shines is this hair sculpt. Now, when I first saw images of this figure, I was kind of hot. I was kind of mad because I was like, wow, they didn't even give her a ponytail for this figure. You know, there's not a whole lot of detail you can put into this figure to make it accurate, and they had the hair wrong. But I digress, and they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. And this ponytail is so awesome. She has her really long, thick bangs in the front. And what's really cool about this ponytail, it's very thick and full, but it's even got a little strand that kind of strays off of that main bundle there and goes over her shoulders. So the hair sculpt itself is a 10 out of 10 hair sculpt, I have to say. I love it. It blew me away in person. I'm so glad that it's pretty darn accurate to that day, and it looks great. So yeah, I think the face scan's good. I think the hair sculpt's amazing. But like I mentioned, my scan might not be printed on perfect. But with that being said, let's take a closer look at her attire. So moving on down to the attire, yeah, I think this is absolutely a badass looking figure, and I think the all black look is striking. I think this embodies Chyna as a whole. Now that Elite that came with Triple H and that DX 2-pack, that also is very iconic as far as attire goes for, but this to me, yeah, this is my favorite Chyna look that we've gotten so far, and I will do a comparison between all of the figures that Mattel has released of Chyna so far, so you can kind of see a comparison between them all. But yeah, I think this all black look looks awesome. So right away at the top here around her neck, we have this spiked choker type necklace. I'm thinking the only way you could really take it off, which I don't know why you would, but if you want to, you probably have to pop the head off. But that's okay, that wouldn't be hard to do. But yeah, that's a nice little accessory. She has these painted on black gloves. She has this really awesome leather soft goods piece. Not really leather, it's like a pleather type material soft goods piece here. And it fits her pretty nice. You know, it definitely adds character to this figure, and I'm glad they went the route of having a soft goods accessory. Now moving on down to her bottoms, they're just a solid painted black, which is fine. And then she has solid black boots with little silver intricate details where the laces are supposed to go in. But if I look closely at mine, that silver actually doesn't line up with the holes that they're supposed to line up with, so, I wonder if that's just mine. You'll have to look at yours if you have it. It looks okay over here, but yeah, over here those silver dots are supposed to be right where the string holes are, and they're a little off. But either way, I mean, like I said, it's almost such a basic looking figure that it looks badass. It looks BA. I mean, I love the all black look. Now, this soft goods, I guess vest you'd call it, it does have a Velcro front, and when you remove that, she just has a black top that I believe is just a straight repaint of the WrestleMania Elite that we got. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes less is more, and what they did here with this Chyna is, yeah, they pretty much nailed the attire to that iconic event to near perfection, and I think it looks tremendous. Alright, so before we dive into articulation, I just wanted to point something out that I noticed upon further inspection, is that the fist hands that they use on her are tiny. They're way too small. They don't look right. And I noticed this because I was kind of looking at it, and I thought, did they make new fist hands for her? But no, they just reused some other fist hands, and they look tiny. They're small. And you might not realize it until you compare it to the semi-grasping hands that she comes with that were previously released in her WrestleMania Elite. And look how much smaller they are. Like, those hands should definitely be bigger, even in the fist position. So, yeah, they kind of look silly. They kind of look like hooves or something. But either way, that's a small little nitpick. But let's talk about articulation here. Now, the head really doesn't move a whole lot, obviously because that heavy hair sculpt, but also that choker necklace. Her shoulders on a ball joint can go in all different directions. She has that upper arm swivel. She only has the single jointed elbows, as I mentioned before, so she can flex to about 90 degrees, but that sucks. We should have got double jointed elbows. The wrist can spin here. She can extend her wrist. She can flex her wrist. She has an upper torso elite articulation, so she can side bend really well, flex, extend that trunk. She has that waist swivel. She has that hip on a ball joint, can go in all different directions. She has that upper thigh swivel. She has double jointed knees, and like I mentioned, mine are really loose. She has that upper boot swivel, and then the feet can plantar flex, dorsiflex slightly, and then rock side to side. So yeah, the articulation is pretty good, but it is a little disappointing that we're missing the double jointed elbows. And yeah, the fist might not be a big deal to some, but it does look a little bizarre. And comparing it to what hands were actually hers that were molded for her in that WrestleMania Elite set, just repainted black for this, those hands are tiny in the fist position. Alright, so next up I wanted to do a fun little comparison between all of Chyna's figures released by Mattel so far. So within about a year and a half, they've had quite a few Chyna figures released, and all of them are pretty drastically different. So maybe this part of the video will help you decide if you're trying to add just one Chyna to your collection, or maybe if you want to add more, maybe this will help you, giving you an up-close look here. Now, I do want to get this out of the way. There is a Masters of the WWE Universe Chyna. I'm just not a huge fan of this figure. I thought the Stephanie McMahon was pretty darn awesome. The Becky was kind of boring. And this one, this to me, it's not a good figure in my opinion. It might have been my least favorite of last year. I mean, so much so that it didn't even review it on the channel because I think this figure looks a lot better MOC. Yeah, so, I mean, if you're a fan of this line, then great. That's awesome. But for me, it doesn't really fit in with my collection at all. But it does look cool MOC. So here, lined up on the far left, we have her Mattel First in Line figure, which is the DX Elite 2-pack that also came with Triple H. Then we have that WrestleMania Elite in the purple. Then we have the Showdown 2-pack Series 5 that came with Trish. And then obviously on the way right, we have the Legends one we're looking at today. So yeah, they're all pretty drastic in appearance. Now, that first one that came out with the Triple H is a pretty iconic look for Chyna, and this might be everybody's favorite, or not everybody, it might be the majority's favorite Chyna, because there is a lot of detail in this attire, and it's pretty darn intricately molded, painted, and it looks great. It really does. But if you're going for a more babyface type Chyna, we have two options. We have that Showdown 2-pack, which I think is a fine figure for what it is, being a basic style articulation figure. And then we have that WrestleMania Elite, which to me was one of the biggest letdowns of the year when it came out. I mean, so obviously we have that smiling babyface scan, and that's fine, that's great. But the attire should have been a metallic purple. Now, I did do an in-depth review of this figure, so check that out if you want to see that. But just choosing a plain matte type purple with no metallic shine, no anything, no gloss, no glimmer, it looks like lingerie, so I think it looks stupid. I think it looks silly as far as I'm concerned. On my shelf, it looks like lingerie or like a swimsuit. It doesn't look like that jaw-dropping attire she wore at WrestleMania. And also the women's championship she comes with is kind of a basic style title. It doesn't have that metallic shine to it. So overall, this figure was a huge letdown in my opinion. Now, before we go on to that Showdown 2-pack, I am going to say that upon further inspection here, they did reuse this body from the WrestleMania Elite for the body on this Legends Chyna, which is fine. It works fine. They just repainted it. Even this little choker necklace that's on the WrestleMania Elite, it's got a little molding there around the neck. It is on this Legends Series Chyna under that necklace, that choker necklace she has. It's just painted black, so it's fine. I think it works fine. And even these open hands that are the right scale, they did include him in with this Legends Chyna and just painted him black. So, yeah, like I said, the hands really do stand out when you look at them all side by side. Now, moving on to the Showdown 2-pack Chyna, this, to me, is a better babyface Chyna than the WrestleMania one. And until I got this one, this Chyna was my favorite Chyna that Mattel's released. It's so simple. The color of the attire, remember I'm colorblind, I have no idea what color that is, but it's like a green or a brown or a gray or a gold, I don't know, but it looks cool and it's unique, and I think this figure does a good job of representing Chyna. And yeah, obviously here we have that Legends one that we are reviewing today. So it all depends, I guess, on what era Chyna you want to represent in your collection, if not all of them. But like I said, they've done a good job of having pretty distinct looks across the way with all the Chyna figures released. If I had to choose a favorite, I would actually choose this Legends Series 14. I just think it just looks so classy and so BA in the all black. It's such an iconic moment, and yeah, it's just my favorite Chyna out of all of these. And here's one last look at WWE Legends Series 14 Chyna. So overall, I give WWE Legends Series 14 Chyna an overall score of a 7.8 out of 10. This is a good figure. In fact, it's a really good figure. And let's start off with the positives. So the positives are, you know, they did a good job simulating that attire from that invasion angle that Chyna wore. Now, it was a simple attire, but they did a pretty good job here. I really like that soft goods pleather type vest. I think that fits her nicely. And I really do like that hair sculpt. I think that hair sculpt and mold is beautiful. I think it's awesome. And being a women's wrestling figure collector, I really learned to appreciate the different hair sculpts and molds that they use. They did a great job here on that. It's also nice to see a female included in the Legends line. Now on to the negative. So because they chose such a simple attire, and for the most part they did good, I expect the little details to be there. And the fact that we got these tiny little fist hands, that sucks, you know what I mean? I really wish they would have included larger hands. They probably could have included like male hands that would have fit more accurately with the body than these little tiny ones. And also the fact that they just reused the Elite arms that they had before on an Elite that came out almost 2 years ago. That sucks. I would have loved to have double jointed elbows in this figure, and we didn't get that. So that's a little disappointing. And another thing is, we've gotten a lot of Chyna figures, y'all, in the last 1.5 to 2 years since they acquired the license to release Chyna figures. And I know she's a big part of women's history and women's wrestling. And I love her for that, you know, and I respect her for that. But there are a lot more women out there that I think progressed women's wrestling in a more positive light that we haven't seen represented in the figure line as much that I want to see. So I'm good on Chyna figures for a while. I hope this is kind of the last one for a while because this is a good one to go out on. To me, it's my favorite Chyna figure that I have. Is it perfect? No, but it's pretty cool for what it is. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. For a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews and additional women's wrestling figure videos, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident today. Also hit that bell for notifications so you know when the next video is up. Now I think the next figures coming to LumberJillville to review are going to be Showdown 2-pack Series 9 with Sasha and Bayley, and also Elite Series 93 Raquel Gonzalez. So hopefully those come really soon. I'm really excited. Also, if you're interested, if you're a video gamer, we have on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Saturday Night Surge/180. We have two competing brands in the WWE 2K22 Universe mode. The Treasure and I both do a live stream where we chat with all of y'all. We have match cards that we go through, and it's just a good way for me to communicate with all of you out there, and we just have a blast. We have a good time. So I'd like to see more people show up on Saturday nights right here on the YouTube channel, and yeah, just make sure you say hi. I'd love to see y'all. But with that being said, I hope y'all have a great night.